Welcome to Tomorrow.Africa, the podcast that explores the possibilities and the potential of Web3 in the African continent. We believe that the future of Africa is bright and that emerging technologies such as blockchain can accelerate its development. We interview people who contribute to this breakthrough in Africa and around the world and who hold a positive vision for the future. My name is Yassi Lokman and I'll be your host for this podcast. In today's episode, I'll be interviewing Dr. Omar Benaicha. Dr. Omar Benaicha is a Moroccan leader for the African branch of one of the major companies offering audit and certification services. With an extensive background in the academic world, holding an engineering degree, a Ph.D, and an MBA, Dr. Omar Benaicha have been particularly focusing lately on the subjects of sustainable development, entrepreneurship, and blockchain, and the synergies that could exist between these different topics. We'll be discussing his view on blockchain and how it could be transformative for the African continent and the entrepreneurial opportunities it offers in different sectors. We'll particularly be discussing about the use of blockchain as a system to allow trust between different entities that do not necessarily trust each other, how blockchain can act as an enabler for each one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and other technologies enabled by blockchain like tokenization of physical assets and DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Dr. Omar Benaicha will also be sharing his vision for the future of the African continent and why the entrepreneurial mindset of the African youth is key for such a future. This was an insightful discussion packed with useful information, so make sure to listen up until the end. And as usual, I hope you'll enjoy it. Dr. Omar Benaicha, welcome to Tomorrow.Africa.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I've been looking forward to having you at the Tomorrow.Africa podcast, considering your extensive experience within the business and corporate world across the African continent, as well as the academic one. And it seems like you have been proactively focusing lately on the entrepreneurship and sustainability topics, as well as blockchain technology. So we will obviously be talking about blockchain and its synergies with sustainability. But could you first walk us through your background, your current role within the business world, your connection to the African continent, and what drives you to focus on the subjects of sustainability and emerging technologies?
Yeah, thank you, Yassine, for having me. I am living in Morocco. But traveled a lot across Africa because I have been working for a company which is a worldwide leader in conformity assessment, inspection, providing services to businesses and government to help them to manage risks and to ensure compliance to international and local standards, including standards for sustainability. And prior to that, I studied engineering. In fact, at the beginning of my high studies, and then I completed the executive MBA, which I've got from École Nationale Pont-et-Chaussée in Paris, and in 2010, and 5 years later, I got my Ph.D. from his business school called SKE in Morocco. I did research about sustainability and how it is adopted by companies in developing countries, and studied, as an example, studied the case of Morocco. So since 2012, I was focusing more on sustainability area. It's kind of, the continuity of what I was doing in my professional life. Because when it comes to help companies, businesses, and of course government institutions to manage all these risks related to environment, to social issues, to to quality issues, to governance issues, and all that. At the end of the day, you are almost covering all the sustainability topics. And regarding blockchain, this is the most new stuff, let's say, because I discovered this technology 2 years ago, not through crypto money. It's more I discovered blockchain more on the side of the technical capabilities that this technology is offering to sustainability professional, and how blockchain can help to manage all these sustainability risks in supply chains, in managing and assessing the impact that a company could have on stakeholders, on environment, and society in large. So that's it. This is the how I evolved since, let's say, my first graduation in engineering.
I'm curious to know what has sparked your interest about blockchain technology specifically. What have you learned about the technology and its attributes, and how do you think the technology can be used to have a positive impact?
Yeah, look, when you consider blockchain technology, and when you are reviewing all the use case of this technology, you will see that the let's say the common uh, you know uh, driver, or let's say trigger for adopting the technology is trust building. When you want to build trust in business relationship, or even in social relationship between business and communities, between business and government, and all that. When you want to really to build trust, you need to ensure that the data that you need to build this trust is auditable, is relevant, is true. Let's say it in very simple word, true, and it's the right data that you want to use for decision making. So trust is something which is very important. This is the way you can have sound and very good relationship with your partners, with your stakeholders, and so on. And it happens that blockchain is really a powerful technology if you would like to develop business models that are that are built on trust value proposition. So yeah, this is how I get into that, because in my previous job and in jobs and in my previous experience, I was doing many auditing, inspection, and all that. And as you know, when you are a third party, carrying out audits and inspection, why companies and businesses pay you for the services? It's because they would like to trust the product or the service or the information you get from their business partners. So in the old world, let's say, how we do it, by sending someone who is independent from both parties, who will check, who will inspect, who will audit, and then give you a report. And in the report, you have information that make you confident and help you to build trust in this partnership. With the blockchain technology today, what is awesome is that the technology is giving you another way to do it, giving you let's say a more effective way to do it, because as you know, blockchain is about blocks, and in the blocks we have these smart contracts which are between two parties. And somehow the technology, which is really immutable, it cannot change. It can last for forever. When it is recorded in a ledger. So this replace all what I said before. So I think that, and this is really what what was amazing when I start studying blockchain, because I find myself, like if I find in the technology answers to many questions and to many limitations to the way we were doing business to build the trust between stakeholders, between businesses, and so on.
Yes, definitely. What's interesting with the technology is that it allows you to build systems where you don't trust a specific entity or an actor, but you have trust in the consensus or the system in itself. Since it is decentralized and it works through the consensus, you don't need to trust one single entity. And it also doesn't have a single point of failure on which the whole system depends, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the let's say the principle of the technology itself. As you said, it's kind of technology that use a consensus between many people that will be using the technology. And of course, when they agree on on a decision or on information, then this information is recorded, of course, is adopted using the consensus. So we cannot change the decision afterwards. And then this information is recorded in nodes in mini machine or virtual machine. So if you would like to change something or to take advantage and changing information, you cannot do it, because you need that everybody that participates in the decision making or in validating the information, you need all them again to approve the new version of the information. So this is what is very powerful in blockchain. And of course, today we know more about many people. When they talk about blockchain, they think about crypto money or decentralized finance, or what we call DeFi. DeFi is one use case of blockchain. There is many use cases that technology in which that give us as a tool. In many ways, the technology can help in many other ways. But for the time being, it's more about crypto money, about NFT now. But in business world today, the blockchain technology, based on this consensus, based on the ability of keeping the integrity of information, and the information cannot be changed, and is really approved in using a decentralized approach. So there is no authority, no centralized authority to approve all the transaction or the information exchanged between the parties. So today the technology is really helping to solve many issues today in the business world. And of course, when we come to the business world today, what is interesting is all these decentralized app, what we call dApps, decentralized app, is kind of platforms that are based on blockchain, but they have a specific value proposition, a specific solution to some operational pain points or some operational problems. And this is where blockchain is booming today. And I don't know if we will talk about it, but today you have public blockchain, you have private blockchain. We are, developers and pioneers of blockchain are working on kind of one network blockchain, which is a mix between the private and the public blockchain and so on. So the private blockchain, for instance, this is kind of blockchain where it is less decentralized. But still, even if it is not fully decentralized, it can help a lot to improve the decision making, improve the accuracy, the relevance of information, and so on, and of course help businesses to trust each other and to do business in more sound and with more confidence. Yeah.
And do you think there would be some specific use cases related to sustainability where the blockchain technology can help? So, for example, if we consider the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals as the foundation of the
Yeah.
areas where society still needs to improve, to say the least, to ensure a sustainable future, what role do you see blockchain technology play in reaching these goals?
Yeah, look, the answer is definitely yes. The blockchain X sustainability is really a very interesting and relevant topic today. Why? Because when you consider sustainability and corporate social responsibility, one limitation of the way businesses they are implementing these kind of strategies is credibility issues, is greenwashing issues, and so on. So companies they are doing good, okay, they do a lot of good actions initiatives for communities and for many other issues, social economic governance issues, but what is really today is missing is the trust from consumers, from citizens, in what companies they disclose, in what companies and businesses they say, they write in the report, and so on. So blockchain today is a very good way, for instance, to assess the impact of all what businesses they do on sustainability field. First, second, if it's a very good tool to review and get approval from stakeholders about the impact created and the value created by the company and by the business regarding SDGs, the 17 SDGs, for instance. So just imagine a company or a business, interacting, partnering with the stakeholder, with the community, for instance, and they do some good, project in education, in health, you know, uh, health issues or health access and so on. If they use the blockchain, for instance, they can first make sure that the communities give approval and give a good positive feedback on the real impact of the initiative that is implemented by the business or by the company. Why blockchain can do that? Because blockchain is based on what we call smart contract. So if you go to blockchain and you say, okay, I built a school in this area, and from the thanks to this school, 100 or 200 children benefit from good education and so on. Now this is you who say that. If the community targeted by the initiative also goes to the blockchain and say yes, we approve, the impact is there, we get access to education, we have more than 300 children that now that are capable of going to school and so on. So these two information, using these two information, you can create a smart contract, and these smart contracts can be recorded and then it can be stored in a ledger, and then it can be shared across nodes. And thanks to this technology, nobody can come and say, no, the information is not okay, the information is not relevant, because it is an information which was constructed by the two parties, by the business and by the stakeholder. So actually, I am a mentor of a startup which is developing a tool for that, for instance. And their ambition is really to create a decentralized app that can assess the impact of action in the sustainability field of companies and businesses, and make sure that the impact is there and avoid any greenwashing or avoid any criticism from the stakeholders. So this is an example. Yeah.
And now let's talk specifically about the impact that the technology can have over the development of African countries. So it is a technology that offers a decentralized and global infrastructure upon which all types of solutions can be developed. It could be permissionless. So as long as you have access to an internet connection, you can access it, transact within it, and contribute to its development or the governance of its projects. It also offers new business models,
Yeah.
new ways to create and exchange value, where almost everything can be digitally tokenized and thus easily monetized. And it's also a way to bridge, let's say, the gap, or let's say, bring the population of developing worlds to markets where the developed world also is contributing. So, what is your opinion about that? And do you think that this technology can have um, a potential or an impact over the developments of the African continent?
Yeah, indeed. First of all, technology is helping a lot in Africa. As you may know, even before blockchain, technology is helping millions of people to get money in Kenya, in Nigeria, now in Morocco, in all countries today in Africa. So technology is really a very change maker. It's really a very strong lever, and that can help a lot to help human development and sustainable development in Africa. So telecommunication, internet are changing the face of Africa. Logistics are really, thanks to technology, are offering a very good, floor and ground to many entrepreneurs in Africa to develop very good business models and to create even some unicorns. I think you hear about Jumia, for instance. Jumia is a very good example of a startup started in Nigeria using the technology and focusing on improving the logistics and how to ship and to transport goods and to distribute goods and so on. So technology definitely is a change maker, is very powerful tool for countries' development. Now, blockchain as well is, bringing on the table, let's say, more answers and more solutions to some other problems. And in all the area and in all the fields where there is a problem of lack of trust, again, blockchain is really doing amazing. Let's say blockchain entrepreneurs are really doing a very amazing job, because I can give you some examples. If you take Ghana, for instance, in Ghana, they started, I think, 2 years ago, to develop all their land database and or their land management system based on blockchain. So they start from zero, because they had only some paper mentioning that this land is owned by this family and this land is owned by the other family. And sometimes the information is not complete. The information is not, the integrity of information is not there. Now, thanks to blockchain, they are building something new, something different, and they are doing that very fast, because they don't need to move and to meet everybody and every landowner and to build the information system and to develop and deploy and of course deploy the technology, because today, thanks to the internet and thanks to mobile technology, they can interact with these people remotely. This is the first example. The second example is the all the data regarding health conditions of population. I know a startup in Uganda and working as well in Zambia and Mozambique that is starting to collect all the data related to the health of people and the families and so on. So all the health issues, the disease, using the blockchain technology. And again, this information is very critical for the country, very critical for the policy makers, because they made decision or they make decision based on the information. So the information should be verified and should be trustable. You need to have really clean and and qualified information. And blockchain, again, is a very good way to do it, because you are using the characteristics of technology exactly where you need it, in terms of and you translate it, let's say, in very good models that you can use and that you can implement. So Africa definitely have to, or has to use the technology intensively. We have many use cases that are already on their way to be scalable in many countries. And we, in Africa, more than in other countries, blockchain will close the gap. When you are considering European or North American countries, these countries work on all these issues, and they use the technology since 30 years. Okay, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, they start using information systems to manage all this information. They are digitization and all that. In Africa, we need quickly to fill the gap very quickly, and blockchain technology, again, is the fastest way to do it. Yeah.
What do you think is still missing before seeing a wide adoption of the technology in the African continent? Is it a matter of time, or are there still some major obstacles that must be addressed in order to see a wide adoption?
I think that we have some hurdles, let's say, some difficulties to move quickly in adopting this technology. I think the first let's say constraint, or the first limitation we do have today, is the technology itself. That we have very good technologies using the public blockchain, okay, mainly for for cryptos. As you know, the cost of the technology are very high. This is why, by the way, cryptos are very, very, very expensive, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and so on, because the gas fees, the fees that you need for every transaction, the technology are still very high today. So we cannot afford this cost today in Africa. So we need more technologies that are offering lowest, or let's say lower costs for transaction, for using the technology, because we are not going to invent a specific technology for Africa. We need to use a technology which is already mature, which is already used somewhere else, and so on. Maybe we can develop technology, which is specific to Africa. By the way, just I want to remind something. We have few technologies today that are booming in America, for the United States, for instance. The entrepreneurs that are behind this technology are, for instance, Indians. They came from India. They are from Turkey. Avalanche, for instance, which is very good technology, which is now, I think it is the third technology most used in the world. It's 3-4 years old technology. This technology was developed by a guy coming from Turkey. He did his studies in the United States, and he's now entrepreneur in the United States. So we have many Africans in Americas and in Europe working on blockchain as well. So maybe these people, they can, of course, develop a specific technology for Africa, but this is not the subject for me. We need available technology which is cheap, which is not very expensive, that we can use. This is the first thing. The second thing is the culture. Today, when you talk to people and you talk to them, you present blockchain technology, 5 seconds or 10 seconds afterwards, they start thinking that you are going to sell to them crypto monies and cryptocurrencies, let's say, and so on. Many people, they think that blockchain is about cryptocurrencies, which is false, of course. So we need private blockchain technology as well. This is the third issues. Private blockchain are the blockchain that can be used by businesses, by companies, and by institutions that they want to use the characteristic of blockchain, but they don't want that all the data is public and is accessible to any people, from anywhere, and so on, because sometimes information is very sensitive and all that. So private blockchain help for these kind of needs. So we need, for instance, more private blockchain technology that we can use in the use case that are urgent in Africa. I think the third issue, or let's say constraint, that we need to deal with is the local regulations. And you talk about something which is very important, is tokenization. Tokenization, as you know, is the best way to monetize and to create value from the information in the blockchain. In Africa, it's very difficult in many countries, because tokenization, you need a specific legal framework for that. But at the end of the day, you are going to use the fiat money, because if you want to monetize the tokens, you need someone to buy or to sell. So they are going to do it using the fiat money. And when you go this area, you need approval, you need clearance from central banks, from institutions, from governments. So I think this is the third challenge for that. And of course, the fourth challenge is education on blockchain. I think that in many countries in Africa, all people that know about blockchain and can even develop, for instance, they can code using Solidity or using some other language for blockchain app or dApps development. They learn that on their own. They take courses for that. I don't think that today, for instance, even in Morocco and in some other countries, we have a specific curricula and a specific program for blockchain education. So this is something that we need to improve as well, in order to have more people that are skilled in the technology, and they can help to develop solution platforms that can solve many problems in our countries.
Yeah, definitely. And also the technology, most of the projects that are being launched are still not mature. So the technology blockchain is trying to solve what we call the blockchain trilemma, which is basically trying to be both secure, scalable, and decentralized.
Yep.
And most of the projects are trying to be able to have those three attributes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
But at least scalability and security is not an issue.
Yeah, that's true. And generally, they're able to have two of these attributes, but it's always hard to get the third one, right?
To get the third one, yeah. Right.
And some other criticisms that we hear a lot about regarding blockchain is that it is not sustainable, and that it consumes large quantities of energy. So I just would like to clarify that it is actually not the case, at least for the new generations of blockchain that use the proof of stake consensus or other consensus models.
Yes.
So it's true that Bitcoin that uses the proof of work consensus is very energy consuming. But even for Bitcoin, it's very debatable how sustainable it is, and it is as it mostly uses sustainable energies. But most of the projects that emerge right now are very energy frugal. So we won't dive deeper into the details of what proof of stake is and proof of work is. Maybe that would be the topic of a future episode. But that's something that I wanted to clarify, since we're talking about the impact that the blockchain technology can have over society and sustainability.
But Yassine, look, we have some protocols, because for consensus we develop protocols. We have some protocols that are really environment friendly. We have some blockchain technology today that are not based on energy consumption, and this is why they are cheaper than Bitcoin and Ethereum and so on. Because Bitcoin is very expensive because of the gas fees, and gas fees are too high because, of course, of energy consumption. But we have solution for that as of today. And even Ethereum, they are developing Ethereum 2.0. This is the new technology new version, let's say, of Ethereum technology, and they are taking into consideration the criticism in terms of sustainability to blockchain. But I think it is not what is harmful for blockchain as of today. I think it's more about the credibility of technology itself. What happens with Luna weeks ago, it's not very good for the technology. Because what happens is that many people, they try to get money and to to get advantage of the poor knowledge of people of the technology and use of technology, and they start promoting some crypto or promoting some NFTs and all that, and this is not good for the technology and for the community, the blockchain community. But I think that definitely we are not going to step back. We will keep moving onward, and the technology is very good, is valid, and personally, the best setup that I'm really considering, and I'm following in all my research about blockchain, is the solution that are based on private blockchain, bridged to public blockchain, and that help to solve problems, and that help as well tokenization, thanks to the bridge to the blockchain, to the public blockchain. So the mix of private and the public blockchain is very promising. And when you look what IBM is developing with the Hyperledger Fabric, for instance, Hyperledger Fabric, it's just fantastic. It's very amazing what these guys are developing, and we have many decentralized app already doing very well in terms of business, in terms of growth, of scalability, and there is no issues with sustainability, no issues with energy consumption. So we, as you say, it's not yet mature. We need still to educate people. We need still to do some iteration, some tests, to get really a consensus about the technology. And I think we will reach it maybe in 1 or 2 years from now.
Omar, what is your vision for the future of the African continent? And how do you think the African continent can become a model for sustainable progress? A future where emerging technologies like blockchain are used to their fullest as enablers for business, inclusion, and sustainability?
Yeah, I think I think Africa is today the place to be for opportunities in terms of in opportunities that are offered by sustainability. We need almost everything. When you consider, the 17 SDGs, we need almost on every SDGs. We need to do a lot of things in Africa. We need to work on every topic. So, of course, Africa, unfortunately, is not, missed, let's say, the development, train, or let's say the development path. And we are far behind, many countries in Europe and in other regions, even in Asia, and emergent, countries and emergent regions in the world. But at the same time, this is bad news, but they are as well good news for the technology adopters, because technology is, really helping to have or to propose or or to adopt a very quick answer to these challenges. As I said, you want to fill the gap or to close the gap in terms of education. Today, technology and blockchain technology, for instance, can help with other technologies, of course, because we can use a mix of technologies, help really to close the gap very quickly, because you can today offer education to millions of children in Africa using the technology. This is for the access and for the process itself of learning. But when it comes to diploma, to credential verification, to ensure that people are not using the technology to provide false statement, to provide false reality, blockchain will step in and will help really to build the trust in the other technologies we are using. So I can give you examples on all the SDGs: access to health, reducing the gap, and of course the inequalities between men and women, innovation, smart cities, for instance, technologies and blockchain, especially is very good technology to build the cities of tomorrow and so on. And what is interesting in Africa, that we have the youth in Africa is 70% of the population. People between 24 and 30 years old in Africa represent almost 70% of the African population. And these youth, these people, these young people are the ones that are able to adopt. They are very quick adopter and early adopter of the technology. They can be very good coders. They can do a lot of amazing things. And at the opposite, if you go to Europe or North America, they have a lack of resources. And as I said, United States, even in the United States today, many people that are helping a lot to develop the technologies are coming from other regions in the world. So I think Africa and Africans that are living abroad, living in Europe and living in States, living in Asia and so on, this diaspora as well can help. So I'm really very confident in the future of Africa. I can see what is happening in agriculture. I can see what is happening in smart grids, or what is related to energy access and energy use, and give access to population, to energy for population, and all that. I can see that technology is really a change maker, and I'm quite confident that the future in Africa will be brighter, let's say, than what we can consider as of today. And we didn't talk about something which is very important: democracy. Develop new kind of organization. Put people together from many countries to work together to promote, some human rights, question, or some right issues, or working on some, sustainability topics together. Blockchain can help a lot, because today, thanks to blockchain, we can see the development of what we call DAOs, this decentralized autonomous organization. And these are another another blockchain-based technology, which is booming in Europe and in the United States, for instance. And the decentralized autonomous organization, this is a very good tool in Africa to put, people that having an issue or a project in common. They can work together on the project. They can vote on the project. They can even raise money for the project. They can do a lot of things, like, if they are in a country, in assembly, like if they are voting in a real democracy. So technology will improve as well the governance in African countries. So definitely, this is a very good tool for communities. This is a very good tool for institutions, and of course, maybe for government, even if democracy is still an issue in many countries. But technology will help a lot to put people together, to share information together, to decide together, and this will put a lot of pressure even on governments to improve the way they are ruling the country. So I'm quite confident that these African youth, with all their capacities and their knowledge and their expertise, will really, by using this kind of technology, will really shape another Africa tomorrow.
Yeah, the African youth is definitely the best asset of the African continent. And so such a future
Absolutely.
would largely depend on this youth and their ability to be disruptive and entrepreneurial. So as you've said, you have been active as a startup mentor. So what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs and aspiring ones that would like to contribute to this future? Young, ambitious people that would like to create value both for the market and the environments using disruptive technologies like blockchain?
Yeah, a piece of advice. Today, if they just look around them, they can see many issues related to sustainability, questions and sustainability issues. So we need to solve all these issues. And they can imagine many use cases of the technology to provide solution and to provide, answers to all these questions. and they have to identify this pain point in their communities, in their livelihood, in their schools, in even in their close families and so on. There is many issues related to sustainability that can solve using technology. And I think the second thing I can share with them is they need to pay attention and to show interest to technology at early stage. They can start even in college. They can start learn how the technology works, how we can develop, how we can use this, develop application, we develop platforms using technology. And of course, if they get some opportunities from the environment, from their context, and they have on the other hand, in one hand, and in the other hand, they have the answer, and they know they have the mastery of technology, and they can provide solution, they can really come with very brilliant ideas that they can pitch, they can raise money. The best news today is that we have many VCs, many venture capitalists, for instance, from United States, from Canada, from Europe, interested in all these ideas that are promoted, and they are brought to the table by the African youth. One amazing thing I can share with you, which I noticed in all these articles and news coming in LinkedIn and in all other platforms. If you go back word 10 years ago, you can see, for instance, in the United States, we talk about Africa as a whole, as a continent, as let's say, as one country. Today, it's amazing to see people in the United States, for instance, starting to talk about Nigeria, about Ghana, about Kenya. Today, they understand that Africa is not only, it's not one country or one region. There is many countries, and there is some very active countries, very dynamic countries, and other one. And the challenges and issues are different from one country to other. So what I want to say from that is that there is an increasing interest in Africa, and in Africa issues, problems, and opportunities. So for these young people, I really advise them to be early adopter of the technology, to develop capabilities and skills. Don't wait for the school to do it. Do it on yourself. There is a lot of knowledge today in internet, and the best way to do it is to learn on hand, and to do project, and to, because they are still in school, they can try, they can fail, they can try again, and they can really come up with ideas that can solve many issues and problems in Africa. And by doing that, maybe they can be successful entrepreneurs, and they can build the future unicorns in Africa. And just keep in mind that Africa will be in 2050, the country where there is the most important number of young people. We will be more than 1.5 billion people, and 70% of this figure, of this number, will be people under 30 years. So very huge market in the decades to come. So it's an opportunity for them. They have to benefit from it, and the best way to benefit from that is really to learn, to develop their skills, both technical skills and entrepreneurial skills, and really to be open to see what is happening in their communities, what is happening in their society, and how can they help to solve problems and to contribute to sustainable development.
Dr. Omar, is there some way people can follow you and learn more about your work?
I'm using on professional, let's say, side. I am using mainly LinkedIn. So my profile in LinkedIn, they can follow. I post regular basis information and some thought about blockchain, about sustainability. I am as well publishing papers time to time in academia. So in academia.edu, education. There is some paper that I wrote some time ago, but I will continue to publish some papers, and the next paper will be about how blockchain can help to make sustainable strategies effective and efficient. So yeah, they can follow what I am publishing, and of course I am just learner like them. Yeah, I'm learning as well. I'm really like all these people learning about technology, developing my skills about the technology. So I will be more than happy to discuss or to share thoughts, or with people that are interested in this same subject or some topic.
That's amazing. Dr. Omar, it was an absolute pleasure to have this conversation with you. And I hope that I'll have you back in one of the upcoming episodes of Tomorrow.Africa.
Yeah, thank you, Yassine, and I would like to congratulate you for initiating these Tomorrow.Africa talks, and you are among all these people we were talking about since 45 minutes, and this kind of initiatives are really what we are expecting from African youth. So let's design, let's build our future by our own hands.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to visit our website, Tomorrow.Africa, and subscribe to our channels to be updated about the future episodes. We publish 2 episodes per month at the 1st and 15th of each month, so stay tuned for the next ones. And until then, stay curious, stay ambitious, and see you tomorrow.